Autumn Graybill,
Here.
Ron Reeser,
Here.
Pamela Buffington, Roy Jackson,
Here.
Sherry Alexander, Chris Graves,
Here.
Keith Shelby.
Here. Petitions from the audience. Discuss impossible actions to approve minutes of the March 23rd, 2026 meeting. Everybody had time to look at that.
No.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All
Abstain.
opposed?
I don't think I was here for that meeting.
Okay, you got it right at the last second.
Abstain.
We're gonna skip around some on our agenda a little bit, so if you don't mind, please be patient. I want to do, number 2, letter E, Pool Task Force report. Adam and Mike, you guys want to come up and kind of visit a little bit?
Letter C.
Yeah.
No, I don't either.
To get everybody up to speed, I invited Adam and Mike here today to kind of visit up to speed about what's going on with the Aquatic Center, kind of where it stands, and kind of some things we're going to do some handoffs on that. Adam, Mike, whichever one of you guys want to start.
We kind of tag team it everywhere we go, so.
Go ahead, you start.
So a few months ago, we presented this same report to the EDTA and to the city council. But in a nutshell, the solution that the pool task force has recommended is to create a new state-of-the-art aquatic center located behind the rec center. Location maximizes the accessibility and synergizes the existing recreational amenities. It's more than just a project for recreation. It's an investment in the health, equity, and economy of Mays County. The absence of a local aquatic center has forced residents to travel to Tulsa, Muskogee, and Tahlequah, highlighting the significant market opportunity within our 35-mile radius, which targets 59,000 school-aged children and their families. Now, that does go into the Broken Arrow area, but we do believe that with the properly built aquatic center, properly marketed, that we can attract from that far away. So this was guided by the Pool Task Force, an initiative requested by the Pryor City Council and comprising of diverse community stakeholders. The project has undergone extensive public engagement, design, cost estimation, and feasibility study. We are currently in the funding feasibility stage, completed with the phasing and the operational planning, with a targeted grand opening sometime in 2028, 2029. That will, of course, depend upon the fundraising aspect of this. So the management team will ensure efficient operations, safety, and superior visitor experience, and we will implement modern technology for streamlined operations and employ a comprehensive marketing strategy encompassing Facebook, local newspapers, billboard advertising, and school promotions to build a strong brand. So while it's a seasonal business, initial capital requirements and operational complexities present challenges. We've had a phased approach with diverse revenue streams and a commitment to a rigorous safety protocol and preventative maintenance that will mitigate these risks and stop some of the issues that we've had with the existing pool. The Pryor Area Aquatic Center will promote health, wellness, inclusion, and economic growth. It will provide local jobs, attract visitors and potential new residents, and retain recreation spending within the community. So the proposed park will be strategically situated at the rec center, directly behind the rec center, actually. This location was chosen to enhance accessibility and create potential synergy with existing recreational offerings in the area. It was also done because the existing structure and existing location is in a floodplain, which presented some challenges. It presented some real issues with expanding the size of the aquatic center and making it to where it can be a regional attraction. So the overall plan is for this to go through a funding phase. It's approximately a $21 million project, $22 million project. We have a funding plan in place. We have a steering committee for that fundraising in place that has, we are currently building the view book for presentation to those entities that we'll be just talking about with donations. And we've got our second meeting coming up in about a week. So what questions do you guys have?
You do have a Could this be done in phases?
Yes, so we do have it phased.
Okay,
We have the possibility of it being phased. So
Okay.
the initial phase, I mean, it's in the plan as well. The initial phase would be the family swim area, and help me out here, Mike.
Yeah, the zero gravity area, the dive tank, diving boards, there's 2 slides in that, shade structures all around, and the bathhouse, and all which will serve the whole.
so as I'm looking at this map right here, what would that entail that you just,
Do we have that one?
I think if you go to page 28, you'll be able to see it.
Okay.
Yep.
Back page is number 28.
Yeah, there you go.
okay,
So the
I see,
portions in green,
thank you.
shaded in green would be phase one. The
Yep.
portions shaded in orange would be phase two, which phase two would include the lazy river and the competitive pool, as well as a potential covering for that competitive pool. And then phase three would be a future phase that we're not really marketing right now. That's just showing that there is additional growth that could happen within that same structure.
So you've got phase one, about 8.7 million?
Yes.
Are there any funding triggers? At what point do you start down that path if it's really going to happen based off of what kind of funding you get? Or are you going to get it all before you start?
So the initial plan is to go after all of the funding at one time.
Okay.
The 22,836,630.85
Okay.
at one time. And then as we go through that process, so there's a couple of grants that we can look at. There's a couple of larger donations that we're going after. And depending upon what those triggers are when we secure those large donations, are if we can get to the 8 million and go ahead and start without it affecting that initial funding, then absolutely. All of the studies that we've had done with Swanson House shows that if we get phase one completed, that phase two will be much easier for fundraising. So ideally, we get the whole thing, but we are prepared to get a couple of those large donations, start phase one, get that under construction, and then Mike and I go raise the money for phase two while phase one is under construction.
Okay, thank you.
We did,
Makes sense.
we did a lot of modeling after Muskogee. It's very similar, and so we utilized kind of some of their financials to kind of see what it would be like. And then we scaled it back about 30% just because of our geographic area and the population base and all. So, spent a fair amount of time. They were very helpful at their park department, helping us.
Is there any grants available right now to help them do any of this?
Yeah, there's a couple of, this federal land and water conservation grant could be significant, and it is for projects like this. PDG that's helped with the design on this, they've been involved in some of that. So that's one of the bigger ones.
Now, is it safe to assume that it being located behind the rec center, that it's going to be managed by the rec center, or the rec center?
So it will actually have its own management structure. The plan calls for a separate board, similar to the structure of the rec center, but separate from the rec center board, so the rec center will still operate as it does. But one of the reasons to put it out there is to take advantage of some synergies that we can have with someone like Mike as the director of both, splitting some of those duties and not increasing the cost as much as having two separate sites that would require two separate directors, two separate aquatic centers directors. This way we can have it all in one place, share some of those job duties, especially for something like this that is seasonal and not going to be 365 days a year. That way we have something that, for Mike, he's doing both for 3-4 months during the winter or during the summer. And then in the winter, when the aquatic center is not as busy, he's got the rec center itself that his duties are he's responsible for.
So Mike doesn't get to sleep during the summer.
100%.
So Jackie Moyer's our current aquatics coordinator, will probably handle the day-to-day is what we're looking at. So she would do some shared duties as well with the programming and all.
Okay. And you said it would have its own board, like the rec?
Yes.
So how deep has the discussion been on possible bond issue?
We have had some preliminary discussions on that. There's a possibility on that, but in the grand scheme of things, we believe the funding sources from grants and private donations need to be fully vetted first. And then if that is completely exhausted and not an opportunity or an option, then move into something like that. But when the council gave this task to the task force, they were very clear that they were not interested in it being a tax upon the people initially. And they would like to see what could be done with private funding and with grants.
That makes sense.
Is the strategy on the design side to design it all, have it all designed up front from a detail standpoint? Or is it just to design in phases as you go?
It is to design the mechanical aspects of it at one time. To
For
make-
the whole thing?
For the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we've had lots of conversations with PDG about placement of equipment and the type of equipment, the infrastructure that would be required, knowing that we're going to phase it. But if we do end up phasing it, engineering will be for that phase.
Yeah.
But it will be, so if we're putting in a pump or a pool house, where's the best place for that equipment room to be in relation to what the overall design is going to be? So we're not going to just design it for, here's phase one, put a pump house here, and then when we do phase two, find out, oh my gosh, you should have put it over here, and then they could have shared that
Right.
common area. So one of the other questions that we get quite a bit is about the existing site. So I touched on that a little bit. The existing site, every report that we found, and we've gone back and watched old park board meetings, we've found the old copies of the reports. The structural detail of the existing pool is just, it's been let go for so long that there's not really an ability to save it without costing as much as demoing it and building a new one. And if all of the studies that we've done, all of the modern looks at an aquatic center, if you're just digging a hole and putting 4 concrete walls and a concrete floor, you're gonna have something that looks very pretty and very nice, but you're not going to attract the number of people that need to come to that to actually support its ongoing operations and maintenance. And you'll wind up with another public pool that nobody really goes to, and that you're trying to figure out where, from a general fund, from the city's perspective, that you can fund a pool that doesn't have the kind of activity that you'll need to just maintain it. We could go in, from one of the reports, you could go in and remodel that pool, but if I remember the numbers correctly, Mike, help me if I'm wrong, but it's 8.3 million just to repair the existing pool and get it up to a basic standard for the pool. That doesn't really even address the bathhouse or the lack of parking or any of the other issues that go with it. And all of those reports say they did not do a full analysis of the area under the pool where they know there are voids. They just reference that we think it will be okay and the voids won't actually cause further settling later. So there's some issues with that existing pool if you went in and just made those repairs and brought it up to the modern standards of a pool. You're gonna spend basically what we would be asking to spend in phase one of a new aquatic center just to bring that existing pool up to minimum code. And then on top of that, you've got some Oklahoma codes that say for the length of time that it's been closed, it can't be reopened.
You know, there's no expense for what to do with the existing pool involved in any of this, correct?
Correct.
Have you had discussions on what might be reasonable with the existing facility? Or is it just kind of, it's not inside your arena? Okay.
That is outside of our scope. And Mike and I would like
Put
to,
the new one in.
Mike and I would like to hand that to you guys and remind you that that's the park board's.
Can he do that?
So you said this is gonna have its own, board, in charge of it. Is this gonna be an enterprise area, kinda like the rec center and the golf course?
Yes.
Where the city, it doesn't impact the city budget? Is that kind of the plan?
That is the plan.
Okay.
So we have built into this, as Mike said, we took another aquatic center backed out about 30% of it for differences in population size. And some differences in just the makeup of the aquatic center. So taking that, putting in a mandatory reserve, so a portion of those proceeds every year will have to be put back for maintenance, similar to what the rec center does. From those conversations that Mike's had, that other aquatic center, they have had to do an updated bond to make some updates to their aquatic center because they did not do some ongoing maintenance. And one of the things in their new proposal is that they are doing that maintenance reserve. And those conversations showed that if they had been doing that all along, they would probably not have to have gone back for an additional bond to put money into the aquatic center they have to bring it back up to par. That's one of the reasons that the recommendation from the task force was for it to have its own board that was responsible for just the aquatic center, that was accountable for just the aquatic center, so that there wouldn't be this risk of money that being bled off for other projects. It was one board, one accountability, one project.
Sounds good.
Do you feel like that you've been able to, and just full disclosure, I've sat in with these two guys for a long time.
3 months.
For these discussions. And I know one of the issues that we talked about was, is a strategy, you think, to be able, do you feel like you can raise enough funds and have them in reserve that you can fund the ongoing operations, or will you be dependent, you think you've got past the point of being dependent upon the city to annually budget for the operating expense or additional expenses?
So our financial analysis of it shows that with the ongoing revenue and having the maintenance reserve there, that one, the aquatic center can pay for its own expenses as it's operated.
Okay,
Two, that it can pay for its normal maintenance from that reserve. Now, I'm going to qualify that and say, if the thing is a runaway success and the city says, hey, we need to go ahead and expand this thing, that changes a little bit. And maybe it would require some funding from the city to do that expansion a little quicker. But the plan is for overall operations to be paid for from the aquatic center in the plan that we've presented with the sizing that we've presented. Does that make?
yeah, I think what I'm hearing you say is, if we go to phase two, we've got additional funds expended from the capital standpoint. We don't know that we would necessarily generate enough additional revenue, that would be the hope, that the new phase would generate enough revenue to support the maintenance going forward and operating expenses.
Both phases will operate themselves and pay for themselves. But if I'm just going to use numbers. If we're generating $100,000 in revenue and spending $50,000 in expenses for a net 50, and we add phase two, operating expenses may go up to 80,000. But income isn't necessarily going to go up to 200,000
Right.
just because we add phase two. It'll be an incremental increase, and it will still cover the operating cost. But it's not going to, phase two won't double the income.
Yeah. It's not, you're not looking at you're looking at it being able to recover its cost
Yes.
and have
The phase,
funding it can depend upon.
yeah, the phase two has the competitive pooling, which is a lucrative venture, per meet, through the summertime. So would be a big source of income. It's not gonna pay for it, obviously.
So how many months a year do you anticipate phase one being open? Once it's there, is it a May through August, or
It's, I think in the
Memorial
financials,
to
we
Labor.
did the season is 39 days. And, I think, well, I've got it in here, it's May, it's basically like it's been, over the course of the
May
summer.
through August.
Into the early August. We might be able to squeeze out a couple of weekends in August, even September, but that depends on lifeguards.
right?
As much as anything. So we've done all the main projecting on those 39 days. So, that main season.
Has there been any conversations about school partnerships?
So yeah, we've had some conversations about school partnerships. For one thing, if you'll notice, there is not a parking lot included. So we've already talked with the school about utilizing the football parking lot. So if you look at that design on the front, you see a few parking spaces right here on that little loop.
Right.
And that ties back into the existing football stadium parking lot. So at the end of the day, that was roughly probably $1 million worth of parking lot that we would not have to absorb because we do have that relationship with the school. And then a lot of Mike's numbers for the competitive pool is based off of school hosting competitive events, so we'll have those synergies. And then there's also, with the school, it's always, it's city property, school property, they can't commingle, but we've had those conversations with the superintendent and staff about doing some things like they currently do with the basketball gyms and things at the rec center with leasing those out.
You'd think there'd be some compatible areas both could benefit from.
I'm wrong, Roy. I knew that wasn't center. It's 39 hours a week.
Okay, so
Lot of
those-
race.
I say
so I was going 39 days.
Yeah.
It's
Not
going-
long.
And 60, yeah.
It's going, how are you gonna make all that money in 39 days?
Yeah.
I
No,
wouldn't
it's
get-
39 hours a week.
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
Inflation.
We're off, we're closed on Monday, basically for maintenance and just clean up that
Are
kind
you
of.
looking at being open like 6 days a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
We also did quite a bit of public outreach. So it's been a couple of years now, though. I mean, this took some time
Yeah.
to put together, and it's a pretty thorough plan. But at the beginning of this process, we were very transparent about making sure that we got public engagement. So Mike and a group met at several community football games at the beginning of football season, had some boards, and there's a copy of the boards in here for you to see, and had community members putting dots on them, if they liked it or didn't like a component. That's kind of how we got to the design. So then we had an online questionnaire that went out that kind of got those same kind of feedback from individuals about what do you want in Pryor's Aquatic Center. And that's how we designed which elements were in this pool. This was not the pool task force sitting around going, and Keith was in those meetings, sitting around, oh, we like that slide. This was very much what the community wanted in Pryor and the surrounding area. So we tried to bring in as much input from all of Mays County as we could, because we really envisioned this being a Pryor Area Aquatic Center. Much like it's the Pryor Area Chamber of Commerce, Pryor Area Aquatic Center, because this needs to be something that's for all of Mays County, not just Pryor. And that's another reason to look at grants and private donations and things like that, is we want this to draw from everywhere. And it needs to support itself, and we need those individuals to see this is a project that impacts a lot of people, not just the 10,000 people of Pryor, but the 40, 50, 60,000 people of Mays County.
Any other questions?
Just like to thank you all for your all the work and time you've put into that.
Well, that's part of the reason why get an update, because it's been a little while. I know there's been lots of questions, and it's a question that gets asked a lot. These guys do a lot of work, and it was, again, a lot of painstakingly sitting in front of a board and watching people put dots on it. But it was very interesting to listen to some of the comments people made, and everybody's excited about it. It's
Yeah.
just, how does the funding get there? How do we proceed with it? And there'll be a handoff from this board to the current board whenever that comes. So there'll be some transitional stuff we gotta work through, but as far as it goes, it's very exciting to see
Yeah.
something like that come
It
from the city of
is. I
Pryor.
mean, thank you, because there's a lot of work here and so much of this goes unnoticed. Okay, so thank you.
Yeah, and I should have started out with this, but there's a page on page one, a couple pages back, that lists the people that worked on this. So, of course, there's Mike and I, Don Berger with the EDTA, Chris Graves with the Park Board, Keith Shelby with the Park Board, Frank Powell with the Pryor Parks, Karen Cook on the Rec Board, Houston Britton on the Rec Board, Rachel Sordall, Dana Lamb, Frank Vargas were all community representatives. And then Jackie with the Moyers with the Rec Center, and then Mayor and Jared Crisp worked through as city representatives and for MUB, and Angela Smith as our administrative assistant. So there was a lot of work and effort that went into this, and we would, I think, speak for both of us again, we would greatly recommend that you guys find a way to demolish that existing pool.
Good pick.
Well taken.
Or use it as pickleball courts, I don't know. Thank you, guys.
That's a great team.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Reports, let's do, we're gonna do, again, like I said, we're gonna skip around on some of these. Let's do Frank Powell, Park Cemetery, an update on Giles Park, please.
Frank,
You have
Frank's
nothing?
got a distant look.
I'm trying to stay out of it.
Well, I will tell you this, just
I was handed that, I didn't ask for it.
so I know, our church went out there this last couple of weeks and painted a lot of fencing out there, right, Ron?
I learned how to paint pipe fence.
Yeah.
Okay, and you
So-
stay away from the guy next to you because it's a real sloppy job. That's all I know.
So I know some of the churches have done some service projects around the town.
Good.
One of those projects was to paint some of the,
And as I
Fences.
understood, there's like 5 or 6 more groups going out there with the overall intent that all that, that's a lot of piping out there, fencing. It'll all be painted in,
Are they
it
using
makes
the
a world,
gloves?
have you gone out? Just painting that makes such a difference. It just kind of pops out.
Anything in cemetery or park really that's going on?
Just busy, mowing's fired up, trying to get ready for Memorial Day. Just the usual. I didn't go in work today, I didn't feel good, so I'm not real talking. but-
Oh, that's fine.
okay.
But just the usual, like I said, mowing's firing up, but, still got all kinds of little jobs to do. I was supposed to had a temp start today, and this is what you run into. He didn't show up, so we're checking into that. So I've
Right.
approved 2 temps, but we'll, see what happens.
I know that you guys have been doing a lot of mowing, and there's a lot of discussion about different things for the lights. One of the things is, it's an action item, there's actually, I've got 2 of them for you. The first one being discuss possible recommend council action to seek bids for holiday lights display. So I know that you and I and the mayor, and there's been several that's talked about what we needed to do and stuff like that, but I think it would be most helpful to go out for bids, trying to get some ideas and see what the
'Cause I need to
cost
get
is.
with him, 'cause I still got a lot of questions of how we're doing it, is it?
Me too, that's
or,
why I think we
yeah,
need to go out
Company
for,
to make them and put them up, or buy them, and I still.
I think we need to make some type of recommendations of what we want to go out to bid for, though.
Yeah, probably like a service that will put them up, take them down, store them, that kind of thing.
And display itself, what are we looking for in the park? But I need to make some type of recommendation for it, because we need to get that going ASAP, because we're falling behind every month until then.
Well, I guess I'd have the question, to me, this is a kind of a project. It's gonna have, there's a design aspect to it, define what we want, design it,
Yeah.
get it developed, maintain, put it up.
Why don't we do this then? Why don't we table that question, and then, so we can get a better finer point of what we're looking for and that part. So as long as we get it, we may call a special to get that, because we need to get that in front of
Yeah,
city
'cause
council
I wouldn't
as soon
really
as
know
possible.
what like I said, what are we actually looking for on the bid, if
Let's
we-
table A, so B is discuss possible recommend council action regarding the hire of additional personnel for Parks and Cemetery Department. With the ongoing of adding Giles Park and everything else, there's a lot more maintenance and a lot more things to do with, how many people do you have? 2, 3?
Yeah, and usually to
To the
hire. you gotta have-
cemetery.
You got to budget for it first.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, trying to.
I would rather, I don't really want to take anything else on. I want to replace the guy I'm short at the cemetery before I add on at this park.
Well, I think that's,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever one we need to hire for, let's
Yeah.
So you
get
have
it
2
to.
right now, though, right? At the cemetery,
Two
so
at
you
each-
want 3.
2
at
at
the
the
cemetery.
park and 2 at the
But
cemetery.
we had one
And it's
retired,
like,
we've never replaced it.
Right.
Yeah, I got one on vacation, one took off sick today, so I'm down to 2 guys running 2 departments. So yeah, it's
So you're not wanting another one for park, you're just wanting
Well,
another
for
one?
you need
now,
another
it
one.
Just replace
depends.
the
If they're
one.
gonna let me do one, I want to replace the one at the cemetery.
Right.
Or let me do one at each. But if I get just one, I want to do the one at the cemetery.
But you want two. You want one for each department, correct?
Yeah.
So is this in the budget?
Not
lost
this
one
year.
We,
No, it
it's
hasn't.
been there forever, it's just,
I think it's in the budget for the extra,
Well,
or the one that you're
cemetery.
replacing,
Cemetery.
that is
Not
in
in
the
the
budget.
park.
it's not one in
Right.
for the park, so we need to add one for the park, but we also need to make sure that we're gonna hire one for the cemetery.
So Frank, here's my question. So you need one for the cemetery and one for the park. Okay, that'll get you where you need to be. But now we've taken on Giles. So is that gonna cover Giles, or are you?
I haven't, see, and that's what, I haven't been told that we're actually taking on Giles. So
Okay.
it's getting a little aggravating. I mean, I'm honest, some of this.
No, I'm with you, I mean, it's.
I don't know.
Yeah,
don't
I have not
think it
been
is either.
told at all that we're just taking it on.
I know they
To
discussed
take
at the
on
last
Giles,
council,
you're probably gonna need a
the
couple, at
mowing
least a
and everything.
couple of guys.
That's what I was thinking.
But
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, no, I'm not.
I mean, even if
We
you
may
had,
help out a little bit if we can't hear from there to there, but as for taking it on, we're not getting everything done we wanna do in the
Giles
parks
City
now.
I don't even.
You know,
But-
so one more guy isn't really gonna,
Right.
you know, so to me,
Dogs and things like
you know.
that, unless they're gonna expand its use.
Is Giles in city limits?
No, I don't think so.
yes,
It is?
yes, we go all the way out to Airport Road.
But from the last council meeting, the impression that was given was they are looking to go out to bid to get somebody that will mow, the field, so he won't be using his equipment to mow or anything like that, so that wouldn't be,
Right, but how many miles do you mow right now? We talked about that. It's insane amount of miles they mow right now with two people.
at Giles Park?
No, in the city of Pryor. We have
Okay.
two people that take care of everything in
Right.
every park we have. Two people. So one person for probably what, most of the day can do nothing but empty trash.
What I'm saying, I don't know that there's gonna be anything for Giles Park for him to do, is what I'm.
Well,
I don't know. I've been
I
told
don't know
to
either,
help
but
out
I'm
a
just-
little bit from here to there. One of the ladies, I done talked to her, well, help when we can, but don't call me the day before and say, oh, can you come out tomorrow? No, it's still not, I gotta plan it, kinda, we got a little schedule going, so it's not like we're just gonna drop everything, like, with all the rains and the trail went in, I can imagine, the trails keep us busy in the springtime. I don't know how they're gonna maintain the trails.
well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you're gonna keep up with everything you have currently right now
Yeah.
that's been added, or that you have with what you got.
Yeah.
And there's no reason to continue to run a department with two people.
Right.
There's no reason. Our
And that,
city
and
is.
not even
city's big.
Giles, but just everything we're adding, like all this supposedly is gonna go up Bobby Buck. I mean, everything we do, there's more maintenance and, there's gonna be one, possibly two more bathrooms and the one we got's kicking our butt, But,
You got the splash pads and you've got,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
everything that goes, that's what I'm saying. I think we need a budget for at least,
three, I would say three to, two would, one of each is definitely gonna help, but it still wouldn't be like take over
Right.
Giles, but we would be able to help out more.
I'm still
Yeah.
confused with this. You didn't replace somebody, so then did that go away and not get budgeted? Or is it still in the budget?
As far as I know,
Replace
this
somebody?
council's
So
still
we're
not
talking
very,
about two or three
big on hiring
TV
people
additions?
yet.
What are we really talking about?
well, that's just it. We had one that retired at the cemetery. We didn't
Okay.
replace them.
Didn't replace that.
We've had one open at the Parks Department. We never replaced that.
But we're not
Are
short
Short,
any.
are we even?
Yeah, we're not short any at the park.
That's just what we've always had.
Well, yeah, but
But we continue to add. There's only so much you can add before it gets, enough
Yeah.
is enough. And I
it's
think
kind
we're
of
to the point.
max to what all we can
So
do.
it sounds like what we're trying to do is, let's get him his cemetery person back in the budget, and let's see if we can add a third person.
You're replacing one and adding one.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like what we need to do, or that's what we need
Yep.
to recommend.
Exactly right.
There we go.
Ask for three and we'll be happy if we get two.
Yeah, I'm just, Frank, you're the department head. You know better than anybody what your responsibilities are, what the expectations are. You need to come forward and say, this is how many people I need to do this work. That's not negotiable in the sense of, we're only gonna use this. You know how many people you need, but we need you to come forward and say, these are the type of skill sets that I need to do this work. I'm assuming you're gonna need them before the 1st of January, because the grass isn't gonna wait to grow till January.
Yeah.
So, but we shouldn't have to go through this loop like this. You ought to be able to come forward and tell us exactly who it is you need. We'll help you get the people
Yep.
with the city council or whoever it needs to be. And I know they've had a hiring freeze, but it's not magic. I mean, we've got responsibilities, we've got a staff to be able to do those, and I think you could really help this by just coming forward and saying what it is that you need.
And just for the record, I have met with the demolition crew. I'm just gonna leave it at that for now.
With the what crew?
Demolition crew.
Demolition crew for the pool.
Oh,
But anyway, yeah, other than that, we're moving along.
So,
Do you want to make a recommendation?
so on the recommendations, hire the replacement at the cemetery and add 2 for the parks. Okay.
I make a motion?
I'll second.
And just for my clarity, because the city council's gonna look at this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we say 1 for the cemetery, is that more than we've ever had before, or is that just getting us
No,
back?
That's
that's
even.
just getting us
Get us
back to
The 2 for the park, is that more than we've ever had before?
One more than we've had.
Plus 1.
yeah, right now what I got's the most we've ever, we're not down any.
Okay, so
It's
this
just
is
things
plus
are
2
growing
for the park
more,
then,
yeah,
over where we were before.
yeah.
and can you clearly articulate the additional work that you're having to take on? Because that's a question they're gonna ask you. Okay, what additional work are we having to take on that we need that resource?
Well, a lot of it's gonna be the Giles property, anything's just helping out. But a lot of it is just, like I said, the additional stuff that's gonna go at Bobby Buck, new bathrooms, or, for sure, one at the tennis court. Still talk of one in the future at Bobby Buck. And so it's just a matter of maintaining.
Right.
Like right now, trees are hitting you in the head because we haven't had time to trim trees. It's in trail work, just the mowing.
I think what Chris is wanting you to do, I think he wants you to write out a list, so that when you go to the city council, you're not just thinking things off the top of your head, but have a list that you could give them and
Well, like,
say,
yeah, they'll go to budget first.
It's called roles and responsibilities.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's what they're gonna ask you, because they're trying to control the budget, obviously. But if you can go articulate those,
Yeah.
I think this will smooth this out, and you won't get as much pushback than wanting to know what the additional resources are.
And so right now you have 2 or you have 3 at the park?
Two at
Two at
each
the park.
department and then
And then you,
me.
right, so you're wanting 2 additional for the park or 1 additional for the park?
We'll try for 2 additional
Okay.
department, 1 replacement, sit at the cemetery.
And I think too, Frank, in your list, you need to bring to their attention when you have people on vacation and you have people call in sick,
Yeah.
it affects you drastically, so.
Yeah. And a lot of that almost becomes a safety issue, especially if they're having to do certain things by themselves. So, But, yeah. Luckily, like I said, like I said, I don't know how far to get. Their thing is, so far the guys have been good, but it wears on them. It's
A
wear,
lot of hours.
yeah,
If they're not sick, they call in sick.
yeah.
They're tired.
Or it's the thing of like, well, if they don't care, why should we care?
And you can't
Kinda one of those
anybody
things.
else.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Would we want Frank to come back to us with that supporting information so we can absorb that and maybe have some discussion to help make that a little more valid request to the city? Or do we just want to say, hey, go take your shot at it, do the best you can?
I
It's probably, like I said, it's gonna have to be planned to put it in this next year's
Right,
budget.
it's not anything soon, but it's
Okay.
gotta get in for,
Get in
by
to the-
July
make sure
to
it's
get
in
in
July's
the
budget.
following year's budget. It'll have to go to personnel, it'll have to go to budget.
Mayor and department heads will start having their wish
No,
list
it'll,
meeting.
as long as it can be, or as long as Frank tells them what they need, it'll go to personnel and budget, and then it'll move on from there.
So we can go ahead and make our recommendation today. Okay.
All right,
What's the recommendation again?
to add one at the
Cemetery.
cemetery and add two at the park.
Okay.
We've got a first and a second. Roll call it, please.
Graybill,
Yes.
Reeser,
Yes.
Buffington,
Yes.
Jackson,
Yes.
Alexander,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes,
Shelby.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Frank. Go get feeling better.
Thank you, Frank.
All right, we're gonna go into executive session and, talk about some stuff and come back and we'll finish the reports with, golf course and updates about new golf carts and discuss and golf course bathrooms. All right?
I do need a motion for
Need a-
executive
need a-
session.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Motion to come out of executive session,
Make a motion to come out of executive session?
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? On executive session, we're taking no action. Can I get a motion?
Make that motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, awesome. Next up, golf report, Dennis Bowman, he's got several, about the golf course, updating the golf carts, and discuss possible recommend council action regarding architectural drawings for a new golf course bathroom. Mr. Bowman,
Good evening, everyone.
how we doing?
Of course, we are in our busy time of the year, so we've had a lot of events. The recent events that we've had is, we hosted, the Hilldale Scramble. So Hilldale came up and had a big scramble to raise money for their golf team. Went great, everything, raised them some good money. So we've had the junior high tournament, the high school girls, high school boys, and just recently, the superintendent's revenge tournament.
Was that Hilldale the one that got hit by the tornado?
Yes, it was, yeah. Yeah, sadly,
I
so,
forgot about that, they did, didn't they?
yeah. So, the superintendent's revenge tournament was a new event that we've had. I don't know if you've ever seen, anything like that, but sometimes you see it on Facebook, you can watch it on our Facebook. Every hole is done extremely hard. It's a challenge, so it's a fun thing, but it's a kind of a crazy thing at the same time. But Crystal Smith and Bobby, they did a wonderful job with it. It's the first time to do it, and so we learned a little bit, but it all went really good. They had a small turnout, so but anytime you're doing something for the first time, it's hard sometimes to get it started. But they ended up raising about $1,300 for the animal shelter. So the Pryor Animal
Nice.
Shelter, so that was really good. The animal shelter came out to the golf course, they adopted 2 pets, so 2 pets got adopted that day, which is really nice. And so I think they got a lot of good exposure. Everybody had a fun, wonderful time. It was, we did post some of the shots on Facebook. You'll see the ball go up to the hole, turn around, come back, and roll off the green.
Is that the one where you put the hole right next to the edge of the green?
Yes.
That's the
Yeah.
one I saw too,
I
I'm
did
like,
too.
man, I don't know how you'd ever.
Yeah.
And
God.
one team actually made a par on that hole.
Really?
So, yeah, we had a team make a par, so, I mean, a lot of fun, crazy stuff, but every hole out there, the maintenance guys did a super job of setting it up. We had a list, what we wanted to do, I went over it with them, they did, and they went out in front of the first group and set every hole up, all 18 of them, and they had a couple guys on the staff come by and clean up everything. That way regular play didn't have to
I mean,
play
you
with
leave
all
that hole right next to the.
No, that
Okay,
would have
thank
took
God.
everybody all day. So the regular golfers, wouldn't want to see that
That'd
happen.
be
So,
miserable.
yeah. So there was a lot of fun stuff, and it was, like I said, first time we've ever done that. I know some other golf courses have done that superintendent's revenge, so, but I think it turned out really well.
Is the weather keeping people from not coming out on these tournaments and stuff, or has it slowed it down?
Yeah, the weather can always be a factor. April's been very rainy. Our rounds are still doing really pretty good, but, it's rainy, it's cart pass only. That's when we get to April, it's always cart pass only because all the rain, so people don't like to walk, so that always affects it. But the golf course in very good shape, a lot of good compliments on the greens and everything, people enjoying it.
If you look at Claremore's compared to ours, it's night and day difference. There wasn't a hole we played on, there wasn't a patch taken out somewhere, or, I mean, it was to the sand, it was so bad. The greens where we played in a tournament over there, and they were.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they struggle with, they switched to Bermuda grass, which, there's a good and bad with it, so,
Yeah. I think that last big freeze is what probably
yeah,
caught them, but,
yeah.
I mean, their golf course pro was saying, that was been their biggest down was having a problem with the greens,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, the greens, a lot of people will play through some tougher conditions, but if you got good greens, that's, you know, they love to putt on good greens, and fortunately, we have the bent grass greens, and they're excellent. A lot of people compare them to some country clubs right now, so very good shape. Coming up this Friday, we're hosting the Pryor Main Street, so I think they've got 17, 18, you know, quite a few teams in it right now, but they still have a few openings. You know, anybody wants to play in it, it's a great tournament, you know, raise some money for the Main Street. Gold Bond will have their tournament on the 7th. Then we have a few other smaller ones. US Kids will be coming out May 17th. Coleman Proctor will have his tournament on the 20th. And, you know, he's
His out pretty quick too. doesn't
yes, yeah, his fills up. It's really a neat tournament, you know. Sometimes you don't expect a bunch of cowboys to be golfers, but there's some good golfers in them groups, and they come from all over the place. Coleman brings them in for a lot of different states. These guys will travel to play in this tournament, and I don't know how it fits into their rodeo circuit, but he does a great job with that. So that's kind of the upcoming ones that we have. The street department come out and helped, and they striped up our parking lot, got stripes on it, so made our parking lot
Looks good.
looking good. Thanks. Looks a lot better and more organized on our parking. And next thing I've got to do is get some bumpers, the curb stoppers. So I've been trying to get some quotes on curb stoppers. We'll get those put up, and then I want to get some new handicap signs, because they've been there since, I guess 25 years since I put them up. So we'll get some new handicap signs, and I think then, once we do that, our parking lot's gonna look really good. I did check in some overflow parking area that we have mapped out, trying to keep them away from the high lines out there, so, but we have a little area, a nice area that I think we could park cars in. Right now, we have about 65 spots on our asphalt to park cars, and so, yeah. We need about,
That's the five.
yeah. And, you know, on some of them tournaments, we need at least 30, 40 more, you know, because we kind of mapped out a little area under the high lines out there, so it's kind of tricky working around those high lines, because we don't want to get cars too close to none of them. So we think we have some place that we can haul some gravel in and make a nice gravel area, which will support probably 30, 40 cars. The maintenance guys, they're doing a great job. They're just really, you know, we run a small staff, but they you know, they work hard. They care about the course, and that's, you know, that's the biggest thing. They really care about about the quality of work they do, and they my hat's off to them. It's not easy maintaining a golf course sometimes.
You know, Dennis, I interrupt here a second. We were just talking to Frank about his staffing. What is the staffing now at the golf course on your side on the,
Okay, yeah, on the maintenance
Yeah.
side, so I have Chris Hurt, which is my first assistant, and then I have Russell Bourne, which is my second one. Then everybody else is temps. So we hire enough temps to get the mowing done. And I've got one of them that's very, very good right now, and so we're at 4 right now total, 2 temps and 2 regulars. And then we'll probably, I have to get to probably a minimum of 4 temps just to get through the summer.
Is it already budgeted for the
Yeah,
the two
yes,
more?
yeah, it's all
So it's
budgeted.
all in there?
Yeah.
that's-
And then as summer winds down, we cut back to stay, so.
So you're not needing anything right now, as far as
I'm fixing to ramp up a couple more on the temp side.
but you can ramp up through your temps. Are Chris and the other gentleman, are those both employees?
Yeah, the city of Pryor Creek employees, yeah.
Okay.
That's about the bare minimum you want to have, you know, if anything. Most courses will have 4 to 6, probably 6 minimum. So that's what I said, we run on a real small schedule, you know, tight ship out there, but we try to be very efficient with what we do.
It's unbelievable, really.
It's pretty, yeah,
I have more
But that's
people
what,
that want to hire my yard out to show up to work on it.
and some of that comes to do with the quality of our mowers. You know, we've bought that big mower, so our equipment makes a huge difference, right? If you put a man on equipment and he can get something done and get a lot done in a day, or versus something that's breaking down all the time or not efficient for the job. I see that a lot, you know, in some places where a guy's on a little mower trying to mow a lot of land. I'm going, my gosh, they're just eating up money and labor.
I watched, you know, your mower out there the other day, and it's been 2 weeks ago, and how fast he can mow is insane. I mean, that mower is
Yeah.
cruising, but it cuts a wide swath every time.
13 feet, 5 miles an hour, it cuts a lot of land in a hurry, and you can, I mean, you can, go right around the pole with it.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
It's insane watching, but it makes a difference. That golf course, you know, go play other places and look at them. We've got a really nice golf course, and it shows. That's why I think our rounds are up, probably, if I was a betting person.
Yep, 100%. We got our new golf carts in, so, they're really nice,
Loud.
you know, so, a little louder, so, yeah, and,
They're nice. If you've not been down there, everybody needs to check
yeah,
them out.
they are nice. We had one quit the first week, and, then they come over and replaced it, said it was a bad battery, so, I guess I'm sure they buy a lot of batteries, and I guess every now and then you get one bad, so.
We still have to do the, GPS and
Yes.
stuff like that?
Right, so that's our next job, is to go out for bids for GPS and see which different ones that we think will fit our golf course and our budget, and get them put on. Now we know what carts we have. It's kind of harder to do if you don't know which golf cart you're gonna end up with.
Has anybody saw the GPS systems or how they work or anything like that?
There are a lot of cards that, you know, that you can control them. Don't go close to the greens, you can
Right,
shut
they
them.
shut them
you can
down
shut
Correct.
in reverse.
Slow down around
Pretty
parking
expensive
areas.
process though, isn't it? Not cheap.
Yeah, they're not cheap, yeah, you know, and that's what, there's kind of some different levels, so I've got to do some time on getting different quotes and seeing the different levels, because of what all you want the GPS to do makes a difference also. So they have, you know, a couple different levels that you can buy, and then you have to have the GPS license and stuff like that, so. We'll get
I
some,
don't think we need GPS to stop the carts in when you're off the fairway, because I'm really never on the fairway.
Well, I was just gonna say, he's never,
Go ahead.
yeah, I know better.
Tweet.
I've seen you down the middle of 14 one day.
Well,
So,
But I think,
no, it does help, like, 'cause especially through this month, when you're cart pass only and you try to tell everybody, we educate them, we got signs up, and then all of a sudden you see somebody go right through the water, and like, oh my gosh. You know, but yeah, it will help on that fact, and it helps too, making sure people aren't playing extra holes. You know, it's hard sometimes to control a guy, you know, and he's out there playing, and he'll go from 17 to 12 and play an extra 3 or 4 holes, and
so I guess I had never thought about that before, but you can actually program them, like for a rainy day or for a wet day, you can program just to stay on the cart paths?
yes, that's geofencing,
Okay.
yeah, so that
And
they
then when
can't
they
go.
dry up, you can,
Then you can program, you'll have kind of 2 programs,
Okay.
and then you can program it, you don't want people driving real close to the greens.
Right.
So you have a perimeter around the greens where they can't drive,
I didn't
can't
realize
drive
that.
across the tee
And it
box.
shuts you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just shuts you down, you have to put it in reverse and back out.
yeah, I've been with Ron when he's done that many times.
And
it's exciting.
like in our situation, sometimes, we can have it where once it starts drying out, we still have 2 or 3 wet holes. And the GPS, you can keep those cart paths only and let them go 90 degrees everywhere else.
Okay.
So there's a lot of variability to what you can do with them and buy it. And then, you can be sitting in the pro shop and you have a screen and you can tell where every golf cart is. And you know who's on it, so. And you can send out messages, all kinds of different messages,
they can order
so.
food, you can keep your score on them.
Yeah. lightning alerts, anything that you have, so, slow play or, We, the only, the street department, Buddy, he's been really helpful for us out there. Like I said, did stripe the parking lot, but I had talked with him today. He's just not gonna be able to get to our bridge approaches. So we'll try to do that ourselves. I got some people that can do that, so, we'll see how that goes. If not, we'll have to contract it out. But I think we can form it up and get some asphalt and do it ourselves. Just make it nice asphalt approaches. We're gonna try it anyway, so I think we can do a really good quality job. Just takes a little more time.
Well, I mean, what we got now is working pretty well.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So, that's, I think all I have for
On,
that part.
so I got discuss possible recommend council action regarding architectural drawings for a new golf course bathroom. Did you get any from the engineer?
No, I sure didn't get anything from the
Okay,
engineer.
so I guess let's table that because we need to get drawings from the engineer. You reached out to him and the guy that was here last didn't provide any. I think he just showed a conceptual drawing. He didn't actually give us
Yeah, Sean.
wants a lot of.
Sean Penley got us a conceptual drawing, he sent us a contract, did y'all get the contract?
You had sent me something, but it was the same one that we had the
Okay,
meeting
so-
before.
All right, and, yeah, so I'll get with, another engineer, so we can have something to compare apples to apples with,
So let's
to
table
get that done.
C on action items.
Motion to table.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Awesome. Number 4, unforeseen business. Do we have any? Number 5, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll stick it, 'cause
All in favor?
Aye.
Sleep
Aye.
I'm hungry.
bedtime.
Everybody hungry?
Yes.
So, need to move some agenda items.
I left my phone.
She's hungry and she's cold.
And that's not too good combination,
No.
cold and hungry at the same time.
No.
I don't.
We've